Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Well, whether you are writing a dissertation, master dissertation, or an article, or you're writing your thesis, at the end, you need a very good abstract. I mean, that's something that is a requirement. And yesterday, one of my followers asked me, how can I write it? So here's the answer. So first, what is an abstract? So an abstract is a brief summary of an academic paper, typically ranging from 200 to 250 words in length. So here I stress it's a summary, and usually it's one block paragraph. Don't write two paragraphs. One of the problems I see most students do sometimes is they split it into paragraphs. No, that's not the way to do it. Its purpose is to provide concise overview of the key points of the article, dissertation, or thesis, allowing readers to quickly evaluate its relevance to their interest. What this means that, if, for example, if I'm looking for, let's say, a piece of information in a paper, I would read first the abstract to see whether the result maybe, or I'm looking for a particular methodology. So that's why the abstract is there. As the first section of the paper, the abstract serves as a snapshot of the entire work and can be critical in grabbing the reader's attention. So one of the really you have to stress that the abstract is very well written, because usually as teachers, or when you want to evaluate the students' work, sometimes we find it at the level of the abstract. Sometimes we find the methodology is not suitable with the topic and things like this. Therefore, it is essential to ensure that the abstract accurately reflects the content of the paper and presents it in a clear and compelling manner. That's the abstract. So how can we write it? So we have Perry et al. Recommend that an abstract should include 7 elements. Now, these 7 elements, I mean, most of the time you are going to find most of them, but sometimes for some elements, they can be hidden, can be implicitly stated. So let's start with the first one. Element 1, to provide the reader with a clear understanding of the article's main topic or problem, it's important to start the abstract with a concise and informative theme sentence that summarizes the overall issue addressed in the paper. So I expect that the first sentence is going to take me directly to the theme. So let's say, for instance, that I want to talk about distance learning. So it would be wise to start with a sentence that indicates, let's say, the importance of, or at least the problem with distance learning. And we have element 2, the main purpose of or aim of the research should be clearly indicated. That's usually the second sentence. So I'm going to provide an example now, but I want you just to think about it that the first sentence is usually the problematic, the second sentence could be the problem, the third sentence should be the purpose or the aim of this research. Element 3, the practical or academic importance of the study should be explained. Well, for this element, sometimes you find it with the first one, sometimes you find it with the second sentence, sometimes you don't find it at all, but it can be implicitly understood. Now let's go to element 4. That's the methodology used in the study needs to be described briefly. So it's very important that you are going to articulate clearly the methodology you have adopted in your research. Of course, that's going to be briefly. And element 5, the main findings have to be summarized. 6, a statement to indicate the main conclusions. And number 7, implication of the study have to be stated, or sometimes the significance of the study. So that depends on you. So let's jump directly to an example here. Okay, look at this example. So element 1, COVID-19 has undoubtedly had a profound impact on all aspects of our lives. This article was written, I think, 2 years ago or 1 year ago. Even 2 years after its emergence and availability of vaccines, the world is still disrupted. More importantly to this paper, the education sector. See that I moved from the theme that there is a problem that COVID-19 made, then I moved to the education sector. Now I have put my reader into the theme that I'm talking about. Now I said element 3, I should supposed to say element 2, but it is precisely that. And it didn't make a mistake. That's element 3 there. The latter has witnessed a drastic change of reflected on the dependence on distant learning, which proved to be the only viable solution with the cessation of universities worldwide. See, that's kind of a practical problem that I'm talking about here. This is why I said element 3. In Algeria, the first response to the pandemic was the use of the Moodle platform to allow students to have access to lectures. Now, element 2, that's the aim. The current paper aims at investigating the effectiveness of the utilization of the platform, which is in this case the Moodle platform. Now, I said element 4, and that's the methodology, something that it should be there. Through the qualitative approach, the study examines the platform from the perspective of teachers, students, and tech support specialists. Now, this is part of the methodology. The work makes use of interviews to collect data with emphasis on cross-referencing answers between the different parties involved. See now, this is briefly discussed here, the methodology. Element 5, the results indicate that the hasty implementation of Moodle in the first year of COVID-19 lowered its effectiveness. In the academic year 2021, the efficiency of the platform increased from the perspective of usage. That's the result. Element 6, however, so it's kind of an implication, but still the result there. However, the adaptation of blended teaching has negative impact on the usefulness of Moodle. The results divulge that the implication of Moodle as a tool for distant learning encounters several technical difficulties that have not been amended. Finally, the letter also has a negative impact on the attitude of both teachers and students toward the platform. Now, the last element, I think here I put the significance. The significance of the work lies in the recommendations which arises from the results. So this is kind of a short summary of the whole paper. I think this is a book chapter I wrote in 21, I think, not sure. And it summarizes everything. So if I want to advise my students, some elements that should be there, like the first one, that the team, and you put the problem, then the methodology, the result. I mean, you should incorporate them all the time. Sometimes some elements you can change. I hope this is going to really to help you on writing your abstract, whether you're writing your dissertation or your thesis. So thank you so much and stay tuned for my next video. Goodbye.